Hi, today another medical equipment teardown and another €1 eBay find. So we have here Orion Diagnostica QuikRead. So instead I try to speculate on what it does. We will read the manual. So it is the QuikRead 101 instrument by Orion. I believe it is a multi-purpose diagnosis instrument for doing several analyses for cancer finding with other things. So we will have a look quickly at the main information. So the intended use, it is in order to provide you with a user-friendly way of measuring analyte concentration important in medical diagnosis and monitoring. It consists of the instrument itself, an accuracy dispenser and the necessary QuikRead reagent kits. So from what I understand, each kit comes with one they call it a cuvette for analysis and reagent, and one matching magnetic card, which will configure the instrument for what you want to do. So it is a photometer capable of producing fully quantitative results. It is calibrated for both photometric and turbidimetric use. So this is worth checking in Wikipedia, I believe. So there is a display telling you what to do. So the photometer measures the absorbance of a cuvette contents and converts the absorbance value into a concentration value or positive negative result on the basis of preset kit calibration data. The calibration data defining the overall assay curve or cutoff value for each kit is encoded on a magnetic card. This information is transferred to the QuikRead by passing the magnetic card through a card reader. Okay, so it is why we have a receptacle for the, let's show directly on this, for the test tube or cuvette or whatever, test container, and your magnetic card reader. So we have the instrument specifications. We have a photometer with 3 light emitting diodes and optics with a glass light guide. It can be powered by AC adapter or batteries, and you can have several versions of software. So to begin do the test, in fact, you insert your card and you follow the instructions. It does a blank measurement first, and then it gives you what to do, and it does your measuring and your test. So looks like it was quite an expensive device. So we just have a 2-line LCD display, no user interface at all, except for these 2 inputs. On the back we have just what seems to be some kind of a serial port, DC adapter and on-off, and it is made for Orion Diagnostica in Espoo, Finland. So if you power it, what happens? In fact, not much. It will just beep. So it is interesting to note there is the time and date in memory, and it is accurate, by the way, and it is telling you in German to insert the card. So I wonder how you could program the time and date, because there is no user interface. So maybe it is by plugging something in here. So I did try to poke out this serial port with a terminal, but it did nothing. But I did notice a different behavior. In fact, if I plug my terminal, my serial to USB adapter in this with a very dirty and crusty and maybe not compliant gender changer. Look what will happen. It will do something different. So same logo on screen, and you have blanking, do not insert cuvette, and it gives you this information, 2 wavelengths with 2 power levels maybe, and the time, which is off by 1 hour, but which is accurate. So, as it did come from Austria, maybe it is normal you have 1 hour of difference. So what happens if I shine a light inside? You can see, yes, we are changing the measurement. So interesting. There is not much else to see. So I will turn it off. The first part of the teardown will be the AC adapter. Because it is quite interesting, it is called a mascot battery eliminator, made in Norway. There is some kind of control sticker here from an hospital or something like this. Controlled in the 2004 apparently. So made in Norway adapter or battery eliminator, you can expect very nice quality inside, I guess. So we will check. First you can see the very annoying long thread screws. So we have this setup here, which is not too bad, with golden springs to make the contacts for the mains. Quite a nice circuit board with lots of things, but look at this. These solder spots seems suspiciously flat. And yes, it is really the most simple setup they could make. Just transformer, 4 diodes and 1 capacitor. There is provision for extra parts for regulator and so on, but they did not populate anything, they did not bother with it. There is no fuse, there is just the primary side of thermal cutout in the here in the transformer, it seems. And it is all, so quite disappointing. I was expecting better for a Norwegian made AC adapter, really. It is quite sad to see this. And there is a quality control stamp here, of course. Okay, so now we can go to the next part. So this thing, it is interesting because why? It seems to be a screwless design, and according to the user manual we have a battery compartment in this, but really I do not see any battery compartment. So I did already tinker a little bit with it, and it seems to have to lift this part here and try to pry this out of the way. So very heavy steel plate here, but not very user friendly. And here is what we have. It is interesting because we have 2 battery holders, one for 3 and one for 4 double A's, with 9-volt battery clips. We have some kind of clock backup battery here, which is written do not remove, so I wonder what will happen if I remove it. And there is this module here with the software in an EEPROM. So it is all for this. So do we do this? Do not remove. Yes, let's do it. I did remove the battery. This battery holder, by the way, is made by Keystone Electronics, model number 139, and we have a Varta lithium 3 volt battery here. Very nice, and you can see it is reverse, made the reverse way. In fact, the plus is at the flat side, quite unusual. So if I reinstall the battery now, I guess we have lost the date and time, or maybe even some settings. So we will see what is happening now. Yes, everything is wrong. We are in 2104. And now it is still asking for the card. I wonder about the time. Oh, it is interesting, guys. It is 11 hours 66. And you can see it is stepping every 2 seconds. 67 even. Wow. Very impressive. What the heck? So, according to what I saw previously, this thing is quite a kludge, in fact, inside. So it is not really surprising to have such weird behavior. So I did try with several magnetic cards to swipe cards inside, but none of them did any result. So this is interesting. We will continue the teardown. Really, I do not know the original price of this thing, but it seems to be a kludge and quite amazing. So you can see the box is really a pain to take apart. So if I leave this cover, I have in the cover remaining installed the LCD display, probably a very regular LCD display. By the way, it is written DisplayTech 242A on the magnetic card reader. And no provision to disconnect them easily. There is a flat cable here which is damaged, by the way. It is not me. And there is this cover with sample optical analysis device here, photometer or whatever. So I need to figure out how to lift this thing now. I can see at least 2 PCBs inside. Not easy. Okay, here we are. In this part there is a piece of cardboard glued on the metal to avoid short circuits. I believe it is a good idea to avoid short circuits. So maybe now I can disconnect this thing. No. Interesting. Okay. And this one. So this is out of the way at least. And what do we have? We have a top PCB with this big flat cable with missing wires, as you can see, going to the EEPROM module. So there is just one EEPROM in this. And I will maybe remove the backup battery for safety. This big header connector, which is made this way. So I believe we have probably, so these are the wires going to the backup battery holder. They are soldered directly in place. It is very convenient, of course. I believe we must have a board-to-board connector here. I hope, at least, yes. Okay, so as you can see, this flat cable is going also to this part here. And here we have a connector going to a IC socket, like so. On this board, a PAL on a socket. This one is not socketed. We have probably here some memory by SEC Korea. Seems to be a memory chip. We have a NEC D70320L-8, so I believe this may be a microprocessor. That code of, or copyright at least, of 1986. We have some configuration jumpers everywhere. And we have wires in the way. So on this PCB here, it is probably all the analog side of things. So it is interesting how they did this board-to-board connection. I believe I have female to female holders. Yes, here. These strips are female to female headers, and they are plugged into male headers. So at least it will be interesting parts to save. And we have the main optical chamber or analysis chamber. So I see 4 screws, and in fact it is quite sad because here the either LEDs or phototransit diodes are soldered directly to a PCB. So it is not letting me take the thing apart easily. Quite weird the way they made this thing. So what do we have else? Meanwhile, I undo these things here. Is DC input here, main switch, filtering capacitor probably. Probably the interface chips here for the communication port. And most probably analog stuff here. I zoom in for you on the chip numbers. Buzzer. LF356N, probably op amps here, some trim pots, and I want now to remove this thing, so I will be right back. Okay, so now maybe I can undo the PCB. I have 4 screws on this side at least. And two for the photometer assembly here. By the way, the 9-volt battery clips are connected in series, as you can see. So I should be able to just find 2 loose nuts. Not sure where they are coming from. And probably they have nuts for the standoffs here for the 9-pin connector. They are not prisoner in the connector body, it is quite weird. Okay, here at least I have a connector. Here is the other side of the PCB, no bulge wire, oddly enough. And we will focus on this assembly. Seems to be some machined aluminum block. And looks like we have phototransistor here, a 4-pin assembly here thing. Not sure if I can pull on it. Maybe it is not a good idea. One probably LED here, one over here, so for making 2 different wavelengths. I did notice some red light in the thing, by the way. And looks like we have a set screw in here. Not sure what it is for. Maybe for this thing here, which seems to be stuck inside. And I can see metal tubes going in the thing also. No idea what they are doing. Just metal rods, in fact, through the part. 2 here and 2 here. As you can see, they are the holes they did use for inserting them. Quite weird setup. So I will try to undo this screw and find out if it will really anything interesting or not. If I find the lighting wrench, excuse me, maybe this one, yes, I have been lucky. So, not sure how long it is, so I will remove it completely. And I believe it should allow me to push something in here, out of the way, maybe. In fact, there is something they did insert here, probably a filter or something like this. But it is not coming off, so it is quite a fail, sorry. Okay, so the construction of this thing is quite weird, because for some reason they did use why here, for example, they did not use connectors to allow replacing easily the wall assembly. Maybe it is because they are very sensitive photodiodes, and any connector in the way should have lowered the sensibility or something like this by added resistance. It's just a guess. Okay, so here are all the electronics in this thing. So the most often is the failed code in the date or the time management, obviously. Apart from this, not much to see, so I'm not sure what I will do with this thing. Probably it will end in parts. I will save interesting parts, and the other things will end into the waste bin. I did pay €1 for it only, so with 10 for shipping from Austria, by the way. Okay, so thanks for watching, bye bye.